So I know how much you guys like deets. You want some details? Because this car is going to be all about the details, and I've been working on a lot of them. So here, let's get a little pointer. How's that sound? Everybody loves the pointers. Ah, green pointer. Okay. I guess we're closest to the back, so we'll start back here. Those are 14.5-inch second gen CTSV rear rotors with second gen CTSV 4-piston calipers. And this is our Mosier 12 bolt. That's for the F-body chassis. Note the castings for the torque arm. And captured bearings, reluctor wheels, Watts link, blah blah blah. So we have been diligently working trying to shoehorn that big 325 onto this thing. So this is a 19 by 12 46 millimeter offset with a 325 35 on it. 325 30. Nobody runs this wheel on an F-body. Everybody runs an 11-inch wide wheel with a plus 35. I am very, very close to being able to make this work. So I would have to get rid of this bump stop, which we knew we were going to get rid of anyway. And then up in there, we'll have a little massage work to do. Now this Mosier has 5/8 studs on it. It also comes with wheel spacers. Actually, they're not wheel spacers, they're lug nut spacers. And let me kind of show you what I got going on here. So this, let me go over here to our bucket. And we'll get another little spacer out here. And we'll get another lug nut out here. Now these are the extra long studs for drag race application. Because if down the road we decide to get nasty with this car, we will be ready for it. So these need to get drilled out just slightly so that they can go over the shoulder of this. And that'll let them sit down flush, which will give me about an extra inch on each side. Then we take our wheel spacers, our lug nut spacers, whatever you want to call them, and I'm going to have to take and bevel the back edge just slightly right here. I'm going to bevel that, and then those are going to fit down in there, and then this is going to go up on top of that over there, and then that'll lock all that down. So these axle shafts have been machined to fit my rotors right. And this stuff all measures out correctly. But where I need to do that, I need to get this thing down on the ground so that I can center this up happy medium left to right. And then that's going to put me right, probably right on the edge of the wheel well. So that'll put us right on the edge of the wheel well. You can kind of see where I'm at on this one. I'm super close. And this axle actually does need to come this way a little bit. But on this setup right here, I still am spaced out away from the rotor. So I think I might have to do just a slight roll on this quarter panel, but it's not going to be a roll to where it'll look flared. But I think I'm so dang close. I'm going to see if I can make this work, because if I can get these on here, these are, like I said, a 19 by 12. The fronts are a 19 by 11. 305 front, 325 rear. This thing is just going to hook like no tomorrow. the other part of this scenario is that even Mosier, there's a company out there called Fly and Buy, and then there's Big Brake Kit and a bunch of other guys that make brake stuff for this, but nobody has the bracketry to go around this bolt-on flange that will allow us to use these calipers. So I actually just got them out of my hands from Northwest Toys LLC. My buddy Don over there is hooking me up. I took the template over and he brought me a 3/16 piece to check, and it is dead nuts perfect. So we're going to be able to run these calipers, we're going to be able to run these rotors, and the other thing we're going to be able to run that nobody else runs is the traction control and ABS. The fronts are C7 14.5-inch rotors with 6-pot calipers, and this setup also retains the wheel speed sensor and the reluctor wheel. So if all goes well, we'll have giant brakes, giant wheels and tires, and traction control and ABS with the Mosier 12 bolt. Woo! Okay, so there's where we are on the rear. Engine is on the cradle. She's under here ready to go. I am waiting until it says delivery date the 5th, so Tuesday, Wednesday, and I will get the AN line conversion. So there's a to go with this fast intake, there's a fuel line conversion, so I don't have to do all custom underneath here. I can just go from the factory fuel line up to the new fast fuel rails. So there's a jumper that comes across here. I'm losing the terms. There's the Schrader valve. Schrader valve fitting is in one side, and then the fuel inlet goes on the other side. And then when we're running a braided hose down like this, I think I'm gonna run it across the front right here behind the bracketry, and then it'll hook into this factory fuel line in here. So that's on its way. I pre-ran all of the wire loom backed into its spot, so that way it's kind of be ready to lay on top of the motor when the motor and car get mated again. Some of our braided loom came in, so I've got some more of various sizes of this coming in, so I can run this over all the engine compartment stuff. I have silicone hoses coming in to replace all the black vacuum lines. Are going to go red. I have shrink tube fittings for the ends of them, so I can shrink tube them. The other part of this is with this Mylodon baffled oil pan, you've got to run a oil filter adapter. So here's my oil filter adapter. It'll go in down under here, like so, and that'll run us. Let us run happy oil filter. Okay. And then never want to put together a brand new motor without doing a new harmonic balancer. New harmonic balancers are like $200. ATI Super Damper is the way to go, especially with roller top end, big nasty cam. It just really balances out the harmonics of the bottom end of the motor much better. It's an adaptive damper, so as the harmonics change in the motor with the cam and RPMs, this damper will help a lot more and keep the engine running smooth, keep the in-chassis or in-cabin feel is going to feel a lot better. So ATI Super Damper, oil filter, and then we got a new clutch reservoir. This is one of those things that I just couldn't, my eyes couldn't get away from. Let me see if I can find that other junky looking part over here from that. So we went from this to this. So that'll get installed with the engine. We put a new slave cylinder in it. But one of the things that on the slave cylinder that was installed, it had an aftermarket line fitting on the one side of it. So I kind of got to looking at the car and wondering what the heck was going on. And you guys can see the gold fitting over here. This is actually, when you peel this back, this is actually a braided line. So somebody previous to us having it replaced the clutch line with a braided line. So that's a braided line setup. So I went ahead and changed that out and put that fitting with the new roll pin onto the new slave cylinder so that we can retain the braided line that was already installed in the car. So that's all happy. This stuff's all good to go. Like I said, I'm gonna lay out wiring when I get my wire loom and all that good stuff. Front dressings and front accessories, those will all go on once the motor goes in the car. This thing actually sits really, really far back in the engine compartment. So about this much of the intake is behind that cowl shelf. So I'll have a lot of room in the front of this thing to go ahead and put this thing together once it goes in. And I won't have to worry about this snaking on stuff as it goes in. So that's all good and happy. Engine compartment's painted, ready to go. That's ready to go. Ran down the wheels. Yeah, as soon as the miscellaneous bits come in, I'm gonna mate this thing together, and then we can put some weight on this thing, and then we'll take and put these A-arms into the K-member, which will be in the car. We can hook up all the front suspension. We should be able to at that point. I think Don said that he's looking mid next week, and that's when the other parts are gonna come in. So looks like maybe end of the week-ish next week. All this kind of stuff is all going to kind of start falling together and kind of getting weight back down on the ground and wiring hooked up, so that way I can really start to tune and tweak on the suspension stuff. So it's a good solid 12-minute update. I guess it's going to go on the YouTube channel maybe. Well, anyway, that's where we are with the 35th anniversary Camaro. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying. Humping and pumping and getting everything going as quick as I can. Anyway, there's my face. Thank you guys. If you're new here, I really watch my analytics, and I watch my comments and all my likes and all my subs, so I really appreciate you guys. I see you. Hit that bell down there for me, hit that subscribe button, and it really helps me out and helps the channel keep on growing. But anyway, I'm going to get on to the next, whatever that may be, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Happy 4th.